My name is Eva Chipiak and I'm a lawyer at a medium-sized law firm in Edmonton. I wanted to become a lawyer because I really wanted to help people resolve their conflicts. I was interested in alternative dispute resolution because I thought it was an excellent medium for parties to resolve their conflicts without engaging the traditional courtroom setting. For example, in a mediation, parties come together with or without their lawyer, and there's a third party neutral that facilitates a discussion between the parties, and hopefully the parties are able to come to a resolution on their own without engaging the courtroom setting. Conflicts are very complex things because humans are very complex individuals. So what is at the root of conflicts is past experiences, emotions, needs people have, interests of other parties, feelings. And so when these things come together and two parties differ with all this background, it could develop into a conflict. It's important for people to, when they come together, to really learn about the other parties' needs, their feelings, their interests, past experiences, so that they could really get an understanding of the other side, and that way it'll help bring them together. Well, it's probably good to talk to another person about it, maybe somebody that's out of the situation that can evaluate it without any emotional input into it. So I think that would be a good idea in any type of conflict. It's probably a good idea just to talk to a friend or a coworker that's not emotionally attached to the situation. I think that when you're faced with a conflict, it's really important not to let your emotions get in the way. And it's also important not to take things personally, because you don't know where the other person is coming from, and I think it's really good to evaluate the situation as it is and not let your feelings get in the way. I think it's often a good idea to speak to the person, but you have to be sure that you're not approaching them when you're really emotional. I think that's one thing. Maybe you should take either the night to think about it or a couple hours just to cool off if there was something that just happened, and then once you're feeling a little bit more level-headed, then I think it's a good idea to approach the person first and resolve it. Try to resolve the conflict. When a conflict arises, negotiate with the other side, which is really just sitting down with the other party, talking about what the issues are, what the feelings are that could have arisen, or emotions that have arisen, and addressing those things. In order to resolve conflict, you really have to listen to the other party and hear what their needs are, what their past experiences are, what their feelings are, emotions. And because if you're not listening to what the other party is saying, it's really hard to get an understanding of the other party's position. So I think it's important to listen to the other party. Another thing that'll help resolve conflicts is if you're thinking outside the box. If you engage in a discussion, sometimes new solutions will come about that maybe you didn't think about before. If that doesn't resolve the conflict, perhaps taking the next step, it's termed mediation, where there's a neutral third party that comes in and helps facilitate the discussion between the two parties. And at a work setting, this could be a supervisor. Perhaps there's someone in human resources that has a specific role, and they could sit down and facilitate a discussion, engaging people to talk about what's going on with them and why there's a conflict, the background to it. Often the why question is what will help resolve the conflict.